So you've clicked on this video because you're feeling less confident. But let me refresh your mind, because this is episode 2 of the 7 I'm about to make. Every Wednesday you get a video like this for 7 weeks with 2 cuts in it. That are the reflection months, the progress I've made, so you can see what you can achieve also. But that's not to do anything with this video. Let me give you a quick recap on what we have talked about the last video, so you're already by and do not have to waste valuable time that you can use to improve your confidence. So, what is confidence actually? Confidence isn't about being loud. Confidence isn't about pretending. Confidence is all about trusting yourself. That is the key part in confidence. And trust doesn't come from waiting when you feel ready. It only comes through continuous repetition. That is what confidence is. Confidence isn't something you snap in your fingers and you have it. It comes from failing, getting up, beating it. So, to give a quick recap on the most important points you have learned in the last video, you stopped seeing confidence as a feeling and started seeing it as a skill. As I said, confidence isn't just a feeling, it's built through repetition. And when something is built through repetition, it is a skill, not a feeling. Because love is a feeling. Why? You can't be better at love through repetition. There's a key difference in this. As I said, you realize you do not need to be loud. Being loud increases the chance of getting the opposite of what you want. Because someone who is really loud is most of the time very insecure about the inside. So then they can cover it up and give you the illusion they're confident. You finally understood just be confident is garbage advice. It's the same that I will say to you, just fly anywhere. What is that? Just fly to anywhere. What piece of advice is that? Just fly. It's the same as just be rich tomorrow. What kind of advice is that to you? It's the same you're standing at a school presentation or at a work presentation and they say to you, no, don't worry, just be confident. It's the same as if you're thousands of dollars in debt and they just say to you, no, just pay it off. Can you understand what advice you're giving them or receiving? There are no words I can add to that anymore. It's the dumbest piece of advice you can get right now at that moment of your life. And maybe for the first time, you saw that you struggle with confidence. But it is something no one has ever taught you. Because I just say, just be it. It's the same as, just be the next Nelson Mandela. Be the next Ronaldo, Messi, top athlete, you can name it. It does not work like that. So, that was a quick recap on the things you've learned in the video 2 weeks ago. Now we get into why you've clicked on this video. How to stop caring what others think of you. That is what this video is. And I will present you 4 points that will give you a clear path how to stop it. But also, as said, with confidence. If you want to achieve it, it is built through repetition. So if it does not get you the results in a week, in a month, do not give up. That's part of the process. Some people achieve it faster, some take longer. But what does it matter? If the finish flag is at the end the same, it does not matter anything at all. The only thing that matters is that you're further in life than 99% of people out there. This is one thing that should matter to you. So now, we get into one of the 4 points now. Now, as for the first point, most people are too busy thinking about themselves. Let's take for example, you walk publicly, anywhere, does not matter. And you've tripped over your feet, you've fallen, you feel embarrassed. Which is an understandable feeling. You're an adult, or at least someone who has the functionality to walk at your age. If you're elderly, it's understandable. But at your age, when it's not a problem to walk flawlessly, it's a bit of a shame. You feel embarrassed. But then afterwards, you have 1, 10 hours, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, maybe. You're thinking, what others are thinking of me? I've tripped. What would they think of me? If they come home, what would I say? I was walking with my phone and then I saw someone trip and I laughed out really hard. Well, let me ask you one question. What is the last time you saw someone trip and that moment has stayed with you for at least 2 continuous days? Well, I see many people trip. And now, when I think about, I can relive the moment, the scenario that is played. But for 2 continuous days, I've not thought about it. At the same night, I've already forgotten it. That's what other people are doing too. They're caring too much about themselves anyway. They live in the same place, but you give yourself the illusion that they're thinking about you every minute, every second. Well, give you one thing. Backed by the spotlight effect, which is a study done in the USA. The spotlight effect is a psychological phenomenon where we overestimate how much others notice or pay attention to us. And as said, in reality, people are more focused on themselves and what others will think of them than the whole moment they have just watched. That is all. That is the first point. Yes, it will always be embarrassing. Even for me, if I just trip now, it will be embarrassing. But just laugh about it. Just say how clumsy you are. And when I've done that, you can have a good laugh about a really good laugh, not a forced laugh, just a good laugh. It is less shameful, and then it's not something that's bothering in your mind every time. Because that is the problem you're sticking to right now. Just let it go. I know, it's one of those advices. So to give you a relatable example, I said just laugh it off. And just ask someone if it's a good friend of yours. Did you know I've tripped today? And if they say no, they've already forgotten it. That's how fast it goes. Especially at work. They're so distracted with things they need to do that it does not matter at all. Now, we get to the second point. As for the second point, you create a fear, a situation in your mind, but there is no actual evidence or any movement towards it. That is one of the biggest things you're doing when you lay at night in your bed, all tucked in, very cozy, warm, ready to fall asleep. But then the moment comes, what will someone think if I post this video? If I say I'm gay? If I ask this girl out? What will they think? If I ask her out and she will reject me, maybe those friends will leave me because they think I only want her and I do not want them. There is not even a single action towards it. But you're already preparing yourself for the worst possible outcome, which in some situations will be the smartest move you can make. But now there's nothing going towards it. Look, if you buy a used car, it has done many miles. And just that you say, I just buy it, worst possible situation. Tomorrow I need to find a new car. In that way, there's no problem in it. You have accepted it, no problem. But you have done the action towards it. So that is relatable to think of the worst possible thing. But if you ask that girl or boy, for the girls under us, why fear for the worst thing? You know what you should fear then? You get rejected. Only that. Worst possible outcome, I get rejected. Alright, let's move on. But you create an extreme situation which only 0.00001% of every man experience, you're preparing for something that the chances are 1 in 100 million. This is what you're preparing for. Why do that? And that is cognitive distortions. Your brain uses cognitive distortions like mind reading and catastrophizing to protect you, but it often backfires. You assume people are judging you when there is zero evidence for that. It's your brain trying to prepare you for danger, but there's no actual threat. And that is what you're doing. So to avoid that from happening, just prepare for the worst possible outcome that is possible to happen. It actually has a realistic chance of happening. So, with that, if you ask a girl out, worst possible outcome, she rejects me. Alright, if you need to do a presentation and you're a person who stutters a lot, worst possible outcome, you stutter and they laugh maybe. Alright, why the fuck care about that? It's a normal thing, you can do nothing about it. Why care? It's the person who you've become. And we're not perfect. We just need to accept who we are. Or you're at work and you try something more risky. Worst possible outcome? Your boss is mad at you. Look, if you burn the whole building down or waste millions of dollars, then you're looking at possibly fired. But if it is, let's say you work at a car dealership and instead of giving someone $1,500 off, you do $2,000. Worst possible outcome, your boss will be mad, but then you will think about it anyway. That's the worst possible outcome. to just avoid unrealistic, worst possible outcomes. And now we get into the third point. And the third point, you're filtering your life through their lens. And that is locus of control, which is Latin. And that means when you base your self-worth on others' opinions, you're operating from an external locus of control, meaning you believe your value comes from outside yourself. People with an internal locus feel more confident, make clearer decisions, and feel in control of their lives. Takeaway: when you care too much what others think, you hand them the steering wheel of your life. And it just means you believe they control over your life come from outside forces. So that means that people you may not even know control you. So to give you an example to this, it's the same as if you want to post something, you're thinking what someone will think of you in a whole nother country, continent. You can name it. Why the fuck care about that? You're putting yourself in this little square. Why? You're putting yourself in this box for absolute no reason. And internal locus, you believe you control your own outcomes, your decisions, your mindset, your actions, your wins. And it just means you think of what you want to achieve and do not care about what others say about you. I've received some hate comments on my TikToks recently. I just continue posting. Why would I care what others think? If you want to achieve something, you need to get out of the box either way. So why put yourself in that box? That is the most important question you need to ask yourself. And as for the final point of this video, you're giving power to the people who haven't earned it. From the moment you were born, you're told that you need to seek approval of people that matter. Parents, bosses, teachers, elderly, or influential people. That is what you're told. But what happens when you do that for people that do not matter or do not know you? Teachers, colleagues, bosses, random workers that come do something at your house. You're seeking for their approval. For what reason? They do not know you, they do not respect you, they have nothing related with you. But you're seeking for their approval. And then you assess the same weight of their opinions to your next moves, to your whole mood throughout your day. One of the famous TikToks that is out there is someone robbed $10 from you out of the 72,000 you had, would you be upset? It's the same with the amount of time in a singular day. So why let someone that does not matter anything to you let ruin your day? That is what you can do. And that is what you're doing. Let the 10 seconds go. Let the $10 go. It does not care to you anything. So why let it ruin your day?
£86,400 in your bank account and someone stole 10 quid. You wouldn't throw away the other £86,390 in hopes to get back at the person that stole your 10 quid. Of course not. You'd move on and build on yourself. Well, listen, every single day we've got 86,400 seconds. Don't let someone's 10 seconds of negativity make you throw away the rest of the day. Life's bigger than that. Keep on moving forward. Abash. If you
And that is something of the most relatable things I did, is that one singular opinion that someone had, I will weigh it 1,000,000 times. And then what happens is that every 10 million compliments I got, that one moment will stick with me for the rest of a month. So to recap this video and to close it off for you, what you've learned: people care less about you than you think. Fear of judgment is just a story you're telling yourself. You're living through other people's lenses, not through your lens. So get your locus of control. And not everyone's opinion matter. So, if this is already something you can use, subscribe to it, comment on this, like on this, help as many people you can do. And on next Wednesday, we will do the third one of the 7 series. And that one is a very fun one, because I will teach you how to stop riding the emotional roller coaster of confidence once and for all. And trust me, you do not want to miss this, because otherwise you will stay locked in the confidence prison forever. So now you have 2 keys of the 7 locks. Let's get you those 5 locks as fast as possible.